It's January 24th, 2026, and ICE murdered yet another American citizen today, 37-year-old Alex Pretti in Minnesota. I want to talk about the facts of what happened today. If you haven't seen the video, please go watch the video if you can take it. It's quite sickening and heartbreaking and maddening to watch something like this happening in the United States of America. But it's very important to watch because this is what's happening. This is the reality of our country under Donald Trump and Stephen Miller. And it's very important that every single American understand what's at stake right now. As you all know, Donald Trump has sent 3,000 ICE agents to Minnesota. I was there about 10 days ago and saw this firsthand. It's 3,000 ICE agents compared to just 1,000 sworn police officers. So it's essentially a full-blown invasion of the city of Minneapolis and St. Paul. They're going door to door, racially profiling. They're asking people to tell on their neighbors. They're pulling people, assaulting them, detaining them based on the color of their skin, based on the language that they're speaking. They have detained U.S. citizens many times. 2 weeks ago, they murdered Renée Good, shot her in the face multiple times as she's driving away. And then the ICE agent yells, "fucking bitch," as he shoots her. Today, in a very similar situation, what we saw in the video, Alex Pretti is literally just helping a woman up, a woman that ICE had assaulted. He's helping her get up. He has a camera in his hand. Then you see these ICE agents tackle him. They remove a gun that he has in his waist, which is legal in the United States of America, according to the Second Amendment, that of course Republicans care very deeply about. And they remove it. And then they shoot him over and over and over again until he's completely unconscious. It is very difficult to watch this. They murdered and executed Alex Pretti today. This man is an ICU nurse who takes care of veterans. I want to elevate the statement that his family put out because it's really important in light of what this authoritarian regime of an administration decided to put out publicly after the fact. But here's what his parents put out. "We are heartbroken, but also very angry. Alex was a kind-hearted soul who cared deeply for his family and friends and also the American veterans whom he cared for as an ICU nurse at the Minneapolis VA hospital. Alex wanted to make a difference in this world. Unfortunately, he will not be with us to see his impact. I do not throw around the hero term lightly. However, his last thought and act was to protect a woman. The sickening lies told about our son by the administration are reprehensible and disgusting. Alex is clearly not holding a gun when attacked by Trump's murdering and cowardly ICE thugs. He had his phone in his right hand and his empty left hand is raised above his head while trying to protect the woman ICE just pushed down, all while being pepper sprayed. Please get the truth out about our son. He was a good man. Thank you." Now, that last line is really, really important because the truth is exactly what this regime tries to cover up every single day. The moment this happened, just like the moment Renée Good was murdered and the videos were beginning to circulate, Kristi Noem, Stephen Miller, Trump himself immediately called him a, quote, domestic terrorist. They actually talked about him having a gun and said he was an assassin who was going to assassinate federal agents. This statement was so egregious because they literally removed his gun from his waist before they attacked him and murdered him that the NRA has put out a statement about it. The NRA is concerned. Yes, the National Rifle Association is concerned about the way that the administration is lying and trying to gaslight the public about what happened. This is a 5-alarm fire moment in this country. We've said this a couple of times in the last year, but if murdering an American citizen in broad daylight by federal agents using your taxpayer dollars does not wake up Americans across this country, regardless of political party, then I don't know what will. And it's so important right now because this is something that can be controlled. Congress can stop this. Congress actually has the power to stop this. In the House side of Congress last week, we voted on this budget. Nearly every Democrat voted against DHS funding. I'm saying nearly because I am deeply disappointed that 7 Democrats did not. That's unacceptable. Now that package is going to the Senate. There were some questions about senators and where their votes would be. The mobilization today has been overwhelming, obviously, because people are terrified that this happened today and that this could happen anywhere now. That Chuck Schumer, the leader of the Senate Democrats, has already put out a statement saying that Senate Democrats will not be voting for DHS funding. That means we are very likely to have another government shutdown, at least a partial government shutdown, if Republicans do not negotiate to rein in ICE by this deadline. That's really important. I don't think the pressure should stop because the Senate is its own animal. Every senator has a lot of power, and it is vital that no Senate Democrat vote for this. But the pressure also needs to be on Republicans. I just really want to keep emphasizing that because Republicans are choosing to allow Donald Trump to lead an authoritarian takeover of this country. And if a federal agents are taking over cities like this and violently assaulting citizens, causing chaos, inciting violence, local law enforcement is telling us that they cannot do their jobs anymore. When I was in Minnesota last week, we heard directly from a police chief, and they said very clearly, this is decimating. The word that was used was decimating. This is decimating our ability to do our jobs. It's putting local law enforcement and police officers at risk. So Republicans have an enormous responsibility, and they have the power to stop this. It wouldn't even take that many of them. We have to keep the pressure on Republicans. I have heard from many conservatives and libertarians and independents here in Arizona calling these cowardly ICE agents murderers and criminals. They don't like what they're seeing, and they recognize that this is no different than what happens in authoritarian countries around the world. So people power is extremely, extremely, extremely important right now. Nobody, after what happened today, has the option to say anymore that they didn't know what was going on, that they didn't understand the gravity of the situation, that they didn't, recognize how much this is going to change the trajectory of this country.